Imagine a hidden puppet master, pulling the strings of your energy, mood, and even your long-term health, all without you ever realizing it. Now, open your eyes, because this puppet master isn't some abstract villain, it's hiding in plain sight, on your plate, in your daily routine, dictating how you feel, how you think, and how you live. For generations, we've been told to watch our fat intake, to limit cholesterol, to count calories. But what if the true villain, the silent saboteur lurking in the vast majority of our processed foods, is something far more insidious, far more pervasive, and far more profoundly damaging than we've ever dared to acknowledge? What if the very things we reach for to boost our energy, to soothe our stress, or simply to enjoy a moment of perceived indulgence are actually draining our vitality, clouding our minds, and setting us on a path toward chronic illness? Today, we're peeling back the glossy packaging and diving deep into the true cost of excess added sugars and refined carbohydrates, not just on your waistline, but on the very essence of your being. This isn't about demonizing food, it's about empowering you with knowledge, about revealing the hidden mechanisms at play, and about reclaiming your incredible, inherent capacity for vibrant health. Prepare to see your relationship with food, and perhaps even yourself, in an entirely new light. Think of your body like a meticulously balanced ecosystem, striving for harmony. When you introduce a sudden, massive influx of refined sugar or white flour, a sugary soda, a giant muffin, a bowl of white pasta, it's like a flash flood hitting a calm river. Your blood sugar levels, the glucose circulating in your bloodstream, skyrocket. This isn't just a number on a chart, this is a physiological event you feel. You might experience a sudden surge of energy, a jittery alertness, a sense of immediate gratification. This is your body's initial, frantic response, trying to deal with the overwhelming sugar onslaught. Your pancreas, that tireless organ, immediately kicks into overdrive, releasing a hormone called insulin, whose sole job is to sweep that excess glucose out of your bloodstream and into your cells for energy, or storage. But this rapid cleanup act comes at a steep price. Just as quickly as your blood sugar soared, it plummets, often dipping below optimal levels. This is the infamous energy crash, the dreaded slump that leaves you reaching for another coffee, another snack, another quick fix. It's the feeling of needing a nap an hour after breakfast, the sudden brain fog mid-afternoon, the irritable mood swing that seemingly comes out of nowhere. We mistake these symptoms for everyday fatigue or stress, but they are often direct, predictable consequences of this blood glucose rollercoaster, a cycle of peaks and valleys that can dominate your entire day, dictating your focus, your productivity, and your mood. It's a cruel trick. The very thing you consume for energy ultimately robs you of it. But the story doesn't end with a simple energy crash. The constant, repetitive strain of these blood glucose spikes and the subsequent insulin surges leads to a far more insidious and long-term problem: insulin resistance. Imagine your cells as tiny, individual doors, and insulin as the key that unlocks them, allowing glucose, your body's primary fuel, to enter. When you constantly bombard your system with high levels of sugar and refined carbs, your pancreas is forced into overdrive, churning out more and more insulin to try and manage the glucose surge. Over time, these doors, your cell receptors, become less responsive to the key. It's like a lock that's been jammed too many times, the key just doesn't turn as easily anymore. Your body has to produce even more insulin to get the same job done. This is insulin resistance, and it's a silent, progressive condition that often goes unnoticed for years. One intriguing detail many overlook: our sweet taste receptors, while present on the tongue, also exist in our gut, signaling the brain about sugar intake even before digestion is complete, influencing our metabolism in ways we're just beginning to understand. As insulin resistance deepens, your cells struggle to absorb glucose, leading to persistently high blood sugar, even as your pancreas works overtime. This chronic metabolic stress sets the stage for a cascade of health issues, from weight gain around the midsection to elevated triglycerides, high blood pressure, and eventually, the terrifying diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. It's a slow burn, a gradual erosion of your body's intricate metabolic machinery, all triggered by what seems like harmless, everyday indulgence. The impact of this sugar and refined carb overload extends far beyond blood sugar and insulin. It's a direct assault on your delicate hormonal balance and the very chemistry of your brain. Consider cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. When your blood sugar crashes, your body perceives it as a mini crisis, triggering the release of cortisol, essentially putting you in a constant state of low-grade stress. This chronic cortisol elevation can disrupt sleep, impair immunity, and even lead to stubborn belly fat. Then there are your hunger hormones, ghrelin, the I'm hungry hormone, and leptin, the I'm full hormone. Excess sugar can blunt leptin's signals, making you feel less satiated even after eating. It can also amplify ghrelin, driving relentless cravings, trapping you in a perpetual cycle of hunger, even when your body has ample fuel. This explains why, after a sugary meal, you might feel full for a short burst, only to be ravenously hungry an hour or two later. But the sabotage isn't merely physical. Our brains, incredibly complex and sensitive organs, are deeply affected. Refined sugars trigger the release of dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, creating a temporary rush of pleasure. This powerful neurochemical response can be so profound that it begins to mimic the pathways of addiction, leading to compulsive seeking of sweet foods, even when you know they aren't good for you. This isn't a lack of willpower, it's a powerful neurochemical rewiring. Another fascinating, yet rarely discussed fact: specific strains of gut bacteria thrive on refined sugars, and these bacteria can produce compounds that cross the blood-brain barrier, influencing our mood and even intensifying our cravings for the very foods that feed them. It's a microscopic conspiracy happening within your own gut. The contrast between refined carbohydrates and their whole, unprocessed counterparts couldn't be starker. Refined carbs, white bread, white rice, pastries, sugary cereals, have been stripped of their vital fiber, vitamins, and minerals. They are, in essence, empty calories, providing a rapid glucose hit without any of the nutritional benefits that would slow absorption and provide sustained energy. Whole grains, on the other hand, like oats, quinoa, brown rice, and whole wheat, retain their bran and germ, which are packed with fiber. This fiber acts as a natural speed bump, slowing down the digestion and absorption of glucose, preventing those dramatic blood sugar spikes and crashes. It allows for a gradual, steady release of energy, keeping you fueled and focused for hours. Beyond fiber, fruits and whole grains are brimming with essential vitamins, minerals, and powerful antioxidants that protect your cells from damage, reduce inflammation, and support overall health. They are not just calories, they are nutrient-dense packages designed to nourish and sustain your body at a fundamental level. By choosing natural sweetness from a ripe apple or a handful of berries, you're not just satisfying a craving, you're ingesting fiber, which feeds beneficial gut bacteria, contributing to better digestion, enhanced immunity, and even improved mental health. You're giving your body a symphony of nutrients instead of a fleeting, empty sugar rush. And this brings us to the most surprising, perhaps even chilling, revelation: the profound, almost deliberate way the food industry has weaponized our innate desire for sweetness and convenience. It's an unexpected twist that underpins so much of our modern health crisis. You see, it's not just about what's in the food, it's about how that food is designed. Food scientists, with their deep understanding of neurobiology and human psychology, have perfected the bliss point, that optimal combination of sugar, salt, and fat that makes a food irresistibly palatable, bypassing our natural satiety signals and driving us to consume more, often far more than our bodies need or can handle. This isn't accidental, it's a meticulously engineered strategy. They know that when sugar hits the tongue, it activates those powerful dopamine pathways, creating a momentary burst of pleasure, a fleeting sense of reward. Another rarely acknowledged truth: fructose, one of the two main components of common table sugar and high fructose corn syrup, is processed almost exclusively by the liver, much like alcohol. Consumed in excess, this can overwhelm the liver, leading to fat accumulation, a condition known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, even in individuals who rarely drink alcohol. This constant exposure to hyperpalatable, sugar-laden foods effectively rewires our brains, creating a neurochemical dependency that makes resisting these foods incredibly difficult. It's a form of physiological hijacking, making us crave what hurts us, trapping us in a cycle of metabolic dysfunction and emotional volatility. The creepy part? This isn't just about individual choices, it's about an entire food environment engineered to make us crave, consume, and perpetuate the very conditions that undermine our health and well-being. They're not just selling food, they're selling a manufactured addiction, masked by convenience and clever marketing. The power of this system is immense, dictating not just what we eat, but how we feel, how we think, and ultimately, how long and how well we live. Reclaiming control means recognizing this hidden hand, understanding its mechanisms, and consciously choosing to step off the sugar roller coaster. If our modern food system has, wittingly or unwittingly, engineered a neurochemical dependency within us, making true food freedom an uphill battle, what profound shifts in our choices, our awareness, and our collective consciousness are now required to truly break free?